G'day. This series of videos is on safety, the work environment, your personal safety, the timber that you use and the machine that you use, the lathe. Now, we'll start off first with these little points to ponder. Every machine in your workshop, your shed, inner sanctum, whatever you want to call it, has the potential to kill you or maim you, hurt you badly. So treat them all with respect, maintain them properly and look after them, and they'll look after you. Now, in wood turning, it's similar to standing at the outside of a mulcher. You get chips thrown all over you, sawdust thrown at you, dust, various other bits of debris. The thing you've got to protect against is impact and dust. There's 3 levels of impact. The first one is just nuisance stuff like sawdust, shavings and things like that. Maybe the occasional chip off the timber. The second one is getting up towards about pen blank size or a little bigger than that, and that's what the face shields are for, to protect you from that. The third level is the one that's most dangerous. It's heavy impact. Something about the size of a softball or a baseball, getting up in some cases to basketball size. If something of basketball size comes at you, there is no way that you will protect yourself from it. The shield will minimise the damage, but it will sit you on your bum. So there is nothing that will protect you from this type 3 impact except common sense and looking at the timber before you start. Now, in these series of videos, as we said, we'll go through all of them. Now, the first one is not so much a safety item as a comfort item. Turning smock. You can use an old shirt turned back to front, that works quite well, but make sure that you have no loose ends. If you're going to come up to the lathe with it running, make sure it's zipped up. Again, the usual safety things apply. No necklaces, long hair, if you have it, tuck it back in or put it in a ponytail. Long beards can be a problem too. I nearly got mine caught one day when it got a bit longer, so be aware of that. Rings are another hazard. Make sure that you take them off. Anything that can get caught. Now, I know that some of you turn in thongs or flip-flops, as the Americans call them, but you wouldn't be allowed in my workshop without solid shoes or boots on. We do the occasional cabinet work as well. We have screws and things that occasionally get on the floor, and trust me, they don't hurt going in, but man, they hurt coming back out again. So always wear good footwear, if nothing else to protect your feet from the bit of timber that you drop on them. Now, we'll deal with the level 1 safety bit first, and that's the nuisance stuff, just the shavings and that coming off the little bits and pieces. Now, I'll start off first off, if you wear normal spectacles or glasses, they really, even with toughened lenses, they really are not strong enough as a safety glass. The lenses will shatter and they form little bits, and that can cause more damage than you're trying to protect yourself from. Now, you can get an optometrist to make them into safety glasses using polycarbonate lenses or other lenses and fitting good side protection down here, shield across the top and making them a little bit wider. If you can't afford that, then go with over glasses like these. They're nice and wide here, so they sit down on your cheekbones and keep the stuff out from coming up underneath. Got good side protection and stop them from coming out there. And these have got a little thing across the top that fits fairly close to the forehead to stop stuff coming down from there. Now you can see what I mean about that mulcher. Wood turning just throws stuff all over you. It's one of the few woodworking things that does. That's if you're really hooking into it. Now, the next thing is safety glasses themselves. These aren't a bad pair, they've got a nice curve. The object of most safety equipment on your face is to deflect the impact. The only time you ever get a full frontal impact is dead centre in the centre here, and that'll push the mask into your face. Now, even safety glasses are not really good. You should wear a face shield at all times for anything that you're turning, from the lowly egg cup or pen up to what we do with the bigger stuff. But these are a good pair. They deflect, they sit well out from the eyes, so they've got a little bit of space to go back into. They sit tightly against your cheekbones and they fit around your eyebrows. Any safety equipment must have the appropriate safety stamps of the country of origin. I've seen some face shields that if you threw a nail at it would shatter them. Safety shields are designed to crack and stay intact, not fragment and get little shards everywhere. They're designed to push back against the face to such an extent that even the straps will snap in a heavy impact. So always get proper gear for it. Now you'll notice that they're curved. As I said, that's to deflect the impact rather than try and get it full on. Another way of deflecting it a little bit is just to stand out to one side while you're working. They're generally curved both ways so that they, as I say, they stop stuff coming up underneath. This part up here is to protect this part up here, deflect the stuff over the top. If you wear a safety shield, like this one here, and you don't adjust it properly, it's not to protect the hairdo, it's to stop the scalp. And any of you that have been hit in the forehead, and most males have, knows that it bleeds well, stops you from seeing properly because the blood gets down there and you can get concussion from it. So always make sure that that headband is adjusted properly and that it sits down. This strap here is the one that holds it on at the back of your head. Don't do it up that tight that you give yourself a headache. It should be firm, but not trying to take your scalp off. Now, when you put these down, don't sit them upside down like that. Sit them like that. Any scratches weakens the lens itself. So, and they can crack just on a thing. And on that point, if you have a heavy impact, throw them away and get a new one. It's like a safety helmet. Once it's had a hard hit, it's not much use for the next one. Hopefully you never get a next one because you should learn the first time. Now, to clean them, just don't wipe them with a cloth. That creates static electricity. Creates static electricity. To wash them, put detergent on your fingers and use them under clean running water and just rinse them off and let them drip dry while you have a cup of tea or have lunch or something like that. You can blow them off with compressed air. A friend of mine takes his in the shower with him about every 2 or 3 months and gives it a good wash. Takes all sorts, I suppose. We put them in a dishwasher and that cleans them up absolutely fantastic. Now, that pretty well covers impact damage. The next problem that we have with wood turning is dust, and that is harder to get rid of than the impact in a lot of cases. The first line of defence is a good dust mask like this. This is a dust begone mask. Those paper masks are absolutely useless. They don't seal up down around here, so you're breathing as much dust as what you're trying to prevent. These fit on easily, and I might mention here that we get sponsored for no products at all. Everything's bought and paid for, and they're what we use during the day. Just put it over your head, like so. Now this little wire bit up here is the most important part. You've got to make sure that it fits tightly against your nose. Do it up at the back. They seal very, very well down along here and along here. They don't fog up glasses, but on a cold day they will fog up a face shield. So be aware of that. The other thing is that when you take them off, my good mate Kenny Rate showed me this, always make sure that you do them up, because that Velcro strip there, the little hook part, can destroy the mask itself. You get 3 or 4 years out of them. We got 5 out of the last one that we used. When you're putting them away, don't scrunch them up and whack them in your pocket like that, because that destroys the material in the mask as well. Fold them up, put them in a plastic bag, or hang them up out of the way. To wash them out, just rinse them in water and hang them up and let them drip dry. Now the next level of protection in dust is an air shield like this. They're a positive pressure mask. They have a fan that sucks air in through here, through filters, and filters out the dust. They have a full cover around here that comes around your face. They're absolutely fantastic for beards, and because the fan's blowing the air in, you get positive pressure, so it keeps all the dust out. Now the third level is dust extraction, and as most of you know, that costs a fortune to set up a good dust extractor. However, a 1 horsepower unit will do the job very nicely, and you'll notice some of the demonstrators now that are working with wood shows and things using the under lathe dust extractors, and they work very, very well. The hardest part is picking up all the dust at the source, and you've got hoods and things for that, so it's just a little bit of playing around. You get super gulps and things like that, but you've got to get the dust at the source. It's not the dust that you can see that is the problem, it's the stuff you can't see that's the biggest problem. Right, lastly is hearing protection. You'll read and see about it in magazines and things that hearing protection should be worn while you're working on the lathe. Now, most people generally do one thing at a time. They're turning, and turning is quiet by itself if you're doing it properly. There's no real noise. It does not exceed any decibel levels for safety or anything like that. Now, it's the ancillary equipment that makes the noise: drills, routers, dust extractors and things like that. Now, if you do have a dust extractor going, normally they're not too bad. If you can put it outside, that's even better. The worst thing you can do is have iPods shoved in your ears because you hear nothing. If you want a little bit of background noise, and I do, I like the radio playing in the background, so put that on. You must hear what is going on with the lathe. Any crack in the timber makes a clicking sound. Switch it off and find out why it's doing it. Tailstocks can come loose, same thing, switch it off and check it. Now, the buzzword at the moment is risk assessment. I call it self-preservation, and it's pretty high on my list of priorities. If you live by that, you'll go fairly well. Now, the last things to remember are medical expenses are probably dearer, or definitely dearer, than safety protection. It only costs about $200 to completely cover yourself from impact damage. The other thing is that if it feels unsafe to you, don't do it. Wait until you have the experience or somebody shows you how to do it properly. And I'll leave you with this from Eric Esterhausen out of Hill Street Blues. Let's be careful out there. Thank you. I'd like to meet you one day. Bye.